good morning, good noon, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Good noon. I like
Good
that.
noon. Well, it is exactly 12, so it's good. It's not even afternoon, and it's no longer morning, so it's just good noon.
We can probably do some quick introductions. You all may or may not know me already. My name is Phil. I'm on the customer support team. Any questions and problems and stuff you run into, you may have gotten an email or a chat from me since I'm usually on there. Robert and Star.
I'm Robert. I am one of the CSMs here at inFlow. I've been at inFlow for just a little bit over a year now. It's been a great time for me, and you may have spoken to me at some point, either on chats or just via email, but nice to see everyone.
And my name is Star, just like Robert. I am an account manager here. Maybe some of you are my clients. I'm known as the best CSM here, just to let you guys know. And I'm happy to be here with everyone.
Shots fired. So thanks everybody for joining today. We're going to be going over serial numbers. For the agenda, we're going to cover what is a serial number, why do we track serial numbers, and how to track serial numbers in inFlow. We'll have a Q&A afterwards, followed by a quiz at the end. Stay tuned for that. Winner of the quiz gets a nice little gift, a $100 gift card. So what is a serial number? The serial number is a unique identifier. It's usually a string of numbers or letters or a combination of both, and is assigned to a specific product by the manufacturer. It's used to distinguish individual items from each other, to track inventory, manage warranties, and more. We have a little image here of example of the barcode or a part number up top, and then the serial number at the bottom. We'll also go through a few examples of the differences and how they may appear and how to differentiate them. So the serial numbers, are they different? Are they similar to barcodes? In short, they are not the same thing. Barcodes are more so a visual representation of data, and while they appear similar, they are shared. Barcodes specifically are shared for a product, while serial numbers are unique across the same product. So again, another example over here, a digital video recorder is something that typically would have both a barcode and a serial number. The barcode will be, and the model here will be the same for all digital video recorders, whereas the serial number would change across them to help keep track of them.
A good way to remember is this clever little joke. I'm going to lay on you all right now. Why did the barcode break up with the serial number?
I don't know why.
Because it felt like it was just a number to them.
And this is the kind of fun humor that we have all the time.
So here's actually a great example of the barcode serial number distinction, but can you spot the difference between these three images? And it's not in the product itself. So all three of these Batmobiles, they have the same barcode, but they have a unique serial number, which would imply that it is a collectible. The manufacturer probably made a limited amount of these. And so if you are collecting them and you want to know its authenticity and make sure that you do have a one-of-a-kind product, you can check for the serial number. What are some other common places that you might see serial numbers? On banknotes, countries need to keep track of how much currency is produced and how much is in circulation. So banknotes will have serial numbers on them. Different parts of a car might have serial numbers, especially important if there's, let's say, a recall, a deficiency, something with it. The manufacturer can track exactly what's gone wrong, which cars might be affected, and what needs to be recalled. And then on a phone, all phones also have serial numbers. Whenever you purchase a new phone or most technological items, you can sign up for warranty, and the serial number is the way that the manufacturer, the seller, can keep track of whether your warranty is still available on the product and make sure that they're only helping out, applying the warranty on products that have it on them.
Awesome. And actually, sorry, I'll just jump in there because Michelle had a great question there saying that, so the serial number is specific to the item. There's never more than one. Is that correct? And that is correct. Yeah. Your serial number itself should be unique per product. Now, again, across like different products. So you could have a monitor and a laptop and a TV or something, they could technically all have the same serial number because they're not the same product. But within the same product itself, yes, all serial numbers should be unique. And usually they're such like a large string of numbers or letters or anything like that that running into duplicates would be very difficult. But yeah, hopefully that helps.
So for why do we track serial numbers? Serial numbers, they allow for end-to-end traceability of products. We mentioned a little bit already, but in greater detail, it helps with things like quality control or recalls. In the event, if there's a product defect, serial numbers help companies quickly identify and recall affected items to minimize any potential harm and liability, as with the car example, or maybe you've noticed food being recalled by a food manufacturer because the serial numbers typically contain numbers and letters. It helps them track what batch might be affected by a certain issue, where it was manufactured, and then let the consumer know which products need to be specifically recalled. There's also warranty. So serial numbers are crucial for validating warranty claims, ensuring that only the eligible products receive that service. Again, with the phone example, when you get your new phone, you can sign up for 1 or 2 years of warranty. And then once that's expired, then the company is also aware that, okay, no more warranty. If anything goes wrong, it's on you. And let's hope that nothing goes wrong and you don't drop your phone after your warranty has expired, which has happened to me more than a couple of times. And then finally, fraud and theft prevention. So unique serial numbers can help identify and prevent the sale of counterfeit products, protecting both the brand and consumers. Some examples of that are like high-end luxury goods. Think if you're buying clothing from like Versace, Hermes, these higher expensive brands will also have a serial number on the product, which you can go onto their website, type in, or you can scan the serial number to confirm its authenticity so that you're not buying a knockoff. Another more recent example, if anyone here has heard of Labubus, they also have serial numbers attached to them. So if you're ever gifted a Labubu, you open it, you can go to PopMart and enter that serial number. If it returns a valid result, you have a Labubu. Congrats. If you don't, it's called a Lafufu. That is a fake Labubu.
I was saying those ones are a lot cheaper, but yeah, no, the Labubu thing is so hilarious right now. The funny things that people think up and then want to collect, and I mean, I know they put them on like their bags and stuff. Yeah, so a barcode can represent a serial number. That is correct, because it is the barcode itself is just like the visual indication kind of it. So again, yeah, it's kind of I guess we're kind of putting this in there because it's one of those things that we get a lot of questions from, especially from people who are newer to like inventory and stuff like that, where they may confuse like a barcode thinking that it is just like necessarily always like a serial number, whereas yes, you're 100% correct. The barcode is the visual representation of it, whereas the like a serial number or the barcode, like the encoded like numbers and stuff like that, is something different itself. But again, when we usually refer to like a barcode or like a UPC or something like that, that is the thing that's shared across the entire product line, and then the serial number itself is what's unique. So hopefully that helps.
When creating a new product, serial numbers are their own type of product inside of inFlow. So it provides an extra layer of data for your products. And the important thing to note is that once you've created a product type, it cannot be changed. So you would have to enable the serial tracking when creating the product. If you've created a product as a stock product without serial tracking, and you then change your mind and decide that, hey, I do want to add serial numbers to this, what you'll need to do is deactivate the original product and recreate it with the serial number tracking enabled, as you see on the right over here. And make sure as well that if you want to use the same name to free up the naming convention, each product in inFlow must have a unique name. So if, let's say, you had an iPhone that was a stock product without serial tracking and you want to recreate it, first deactivate it, maybe change the name to iPhone and in brackets deactivated for your own tracking, and then you can recreate it and just toggle this enable serial tracking over here to create the product record anew. In the bottom left-hand corner, the screenshot shows us just what it looks like in terms of adding the serial numbers, but Phil will shortly take us through the process of creating that and what that looks like. Each serial number must be unique per product, which allows you to track its movement in your inventory. But as we also mentioned earlier, different products can use the same serial number. So an example over here, we have two products, the Batmobile and the Iron Man armor suit. While they have different names, they can share the same serial numbers between them. And that's because the string also includes the name of the product. So you're never searching for just a serial number. You're going to be searching for the product name followed by the serial number, which is why they can share the same serial number. And finally, within the inventory movement detail report, you can see the serial numbers movement throughout your inventory. So when we pull it up, on the left-hand side, we have the product name. Then the next column will show us the serial number. We'll see where the product movement happened and date some other relevant information as well. And then on the right-hand side, specific orders where that movement took place. Now I'll switch over to Phil so that he can demo serial numbers for us.
Awesome. Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Here we go. So you should be able to see. There we go. So that's my homepage on here with some of our lovely friends in sales. So yeah, I'm just going to go through quickly a couple of the things that we kind of discussed already in the slides, just kind of the nuances of creating and then like using your products with serial numbers and everything like that. I'll be trying to keep my eye on if people have questions, or Robert or Star can shout them out kind of thing, and we can try and show them as well. So the first thing I guess that we'll take a look at is the products themselves. When you are creating them, it's nice and easy, just like any other product. You hit new product, and on here, you're going to create something. I didn't have anything in mind, so I'm just going to come up with cards. Here, this is where you're choosing your different product types. The main thing to note is that here you do have to enable serial tracking on here. If you don't click that on, again, like Robert was saying, that this is not something that you can change later after the fact. So again, you kind of have to already be planning to track serial numbers on the product before you're creating it. So once I turn that on there, we'll hit create. And so everything else is going to look basically exactly the same like your other products. So you can add your descriptions, SKUs, categories, anything like that that you want. The one main thing that is different is you'll see this little icon, and I'll zoom in to try and show it better. Well, I'm so zoomed in. But these little boxes icon kind of here, and if you hover over it saying click here for serial numbers, so this is where you're actually going to see that it is like a serialized product and where you're going to be able to manage your serial numbers themselves. So if I quickly were to just add a couple to this, and I click on this little thing here, we're going to see that I've got the little drop down actually where it's showing that I can put my serials into here. So if they're simple ones, you can enter them in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if you have like a barcode scanner, you can scan it and that'll enter the text in there. Or you can actually have inFlow generate them for you as well too. So we do give you the spots where you can put a prefix. So like these are cards. I could do like CA. We want 3-digit number or something, and then if you have some kind of again, like a suffix or something like that, you can put that here in the end, and then clicking on generate serials, it's going to actually then fill in those other spots with the amount that I did. So again, we were starting at 000. Now it's gone to 1. If I went to more, so I've got more spaces, and I hit generate, then it's going to keep adding them that way, which makes it nice and easy, and I can save it. And with that, then I'm going to be able to, anytime I need to, check on the quantity, I can click and get them different like that. I see Orlando asking if we can demo it in the desktop app. I can try and do that after as well too. Yeah, it should be very similar. Okay, so I did see in there, sorry, can this feature be used to track expiration dates? Technically, it could be. You could use like the spot in your serial number to actually put in, say, something like an expiration date. But I do have really good news for you, is that we have lot and expiration dates coming in the very near future. This is a project we've been working on for, I don't know, it feels like at least like 6 months, maybe more already kind of thing. And we're hoping to have some I think actually even like a possibly like a test beta or anything sometime before the end of the year. So that is a feature that will come that would be easier to use than trying to use lot numbers as using serials as a workaround for that. Currently, probably the easiest way is using sublocations, which we do have an article in our learning center about for. So I was going to show in a purchase order, because generally you don't want to just add stock like I did like that. You would want to create a new purchase order. So when you add your product in, so I've added the Batmobile, you can change the quantity on here like normal. Under the receive tab itself, in the quantity, you'll see that little box again. When you click on it, this is going to come up, and this is where you're actually then going to be receiving your serial numbers. Now, if you have like a barcode scanner, you can click scan to receive, and then just start scanning them, and it's going to enter in those serial numbers for you. I don't have any labels printed out for these ones right now, but you can again do the autofill. So if you've set up, as you can see for my product, it would set up, or it would autofill from BATM004 all the way up to 11. Or we actually, this is a cool new feature that just got put in recently because I bugged some of our devs long enough. But we've got a few customers that a lot of times will have a lot of serial numbers that you're trying to put in at one time, and they'll have them in like a CSV or a spreadsheet or something like that. So this is, again, just added in recently. You can now take like a spreadsheet with your serial numbers on it, as long as they're separated like this, so one per line. I can select them all, copy it, so Control C. I can go back in here, and when I click into the spot, if I Control V, it's actually just going to take those values and put in all those serial numbers right away. Now you can see I only had 7 out of 8, so I guess I missed one, and I should be able to put that in as well. So there we go. I've got now all 8 out of 8, and I can save that. And you'll see the icon does, I know it's difficult to see, I'll zoom in again. The icon does change. It was kind of like opaque, or like there was no filled in spot before, but once you've set the serial numbers, it becomes a little more solid. So that's showing that you've actually got them all saved in there, or set in there, and I can save it. And now those are going to be in my inventory. Now, important thing is kind of like tracking those serial numbers and being able to see them. So I'm going to open up the product page for it, which is just loading. There we go. So here's my Batmobile. I can now see that, again, in my warehouse. If I click on my serial numbers, all those ones that I've got are now on there. They're all received, but probably one of the most useful things is under the movement history here. So this is the movement history tab of the product. I can see that I've got a couple different purchase orders, a sales order, and again, you'll see that serial icon. So anywhere that you see it in the web app, if you hover over it or click on it, this is something showing you that you can find more information about the serials. So I can see right here on this purchase order that these are the serial numbers that I received, or if I go on to this one, I can see that on this sales order, I sold number 2, and vice versa, or for any of the different ones. You can also search for them. So like if I wanted to find this specific one, I can put it into the serial search up here, hit apply, and it's going to show me. So we know that I sold it in this sales order here, but why is it showing up in this purchase order? So if I look at it, this is actually where it was received. So I'm able to then track both that it came into my inventory through here and out through my sales order that way. Then you can also use, of course, any of the different filters and stuff on here too. But the serial option there should hopefully make things a little bit easier.
Abby had a question. They were asking, does the copy and paste feature work when you're on stock count and in the product itself? Can you copy paste right into the product if you're increasing the stock levels?
That's a good question. I know that I 100% know that it works on purchase orders and sales orders. So you can also do it when you're selling them. We can try right now. I'll put 2 more on here. Go into here and just make 2 more. And Yeah, I don't think in here it won't, because I think you need to have that that little window that came up where it said to like set the serial numbers and stuff. So you won't be able to copy and paste it. I mean, you can do it individually here, so I could do one and then the other. And then on, so I guess like a stock count would probably be similar, but we can test this really quick. That will be prepared. Can I paste? Actually, those ones I guess wouldn't be in inventory. So there's, oh, I guess I need to set a counted quantity, don't I? Okay, yeah, so I believe it should work in here then too. Yeah, so it'll basically, once you've set your counted quantity on here, if you go into like the edit serial numbers, because it will automatically select them for you, but if say I had none of them selected, if I only take a few of these, so I had 10 on there, this will actually, when you go into the field down here and I copy and paste, it will only check mark the ones that I had copy and pasted, kind of thing. So yes, you technically can do it in the stock count, not from the product page itself.
Great question, Abby. Like Phil said, this feature just was released, so we're still learning it and figuring out how great it is.
Good. Cool. Okay, so I saw a couple other questions. Can you move one serial numbered item from a warehouse to a different warehouse? That's a question from Sterling. And yes, that is something you can do for sure. So usually you'd want to use like a stock transfer for something like that, where we can create a new transfer from my warehouse to my Toronto location. I can add 2 of my Batmobiles. Oops, I picked the wrong one. Sorry. And again, you'll see with the serialized product anywhere, you should see that serial section on there. And that's your kind of indicator. So again, I'll zoom in. Hopefully you can see. So it's all clear or all white right now. We can click to go in. We can set serial numbers. Again, so you should be able to paste on here too. Yeah, so there you go. I set all 3 just by copy and pasting still. And then it changes from all white to all like a dark gray, which is showing that you've set the serial numbers, and then you can send this. So once you receive it, it will be updated in the product record itself. There we go. So now I've got them in 2 different locations. And if I click in, I can see it that way. And again, one of the nice things with the movement history, then you can kind of check into a specific serial, so we can see that it came in on purchase order 17, and then it was sent from warehouse and then received in the Toronto location. I see a lot of stuff in the chat. Are there other specific things that I should show Star or Robert?
I think we've been covering them. We were talking about putting the serials on labels. Yes, you can have a serial element on the labels for when you're printing. So I did share the link on how to design your labels.
Cool.
And have a lot of serials to deal with. So.
Yeah.
And then Ian's asking if we can set individual price numbers for products of different ages with different serials. I'll answer that in the chat, Phil, because that's a little outside of the serial part, but I can answer that there.
Cool. So this is just in the label designer. From you go to your general settings from the little cog down here on the bottom under inventory, and then your labels. When you go to create a label, you set the size. And so again, in most cases, you'd want to use a barcode to represent your serial number, again, because you may want to scan it or something like that. And then you can set your serial number as that. I don't know if I can change mine too. There we go. So that way, so another handy little thing, if you didn't know, when you're doing this, you can choose which product you're previewing. So in this case, my other products don't have serial numbers. It's helpful to pick this one. So I can see that this then would actually be the serial number. represented as a barcode, or you could do it as text or something like that too. Again, that is something that you can just set if you don't need it as like a barcode. So you can definitely save these serials so that you can print out the labels. I wanted to also quickly show just in the report. So while in the product itself, I was showing that you can see the movement history. This is great if you're wanting to just track down on just like one specific product or anything like that. But under the reports that you click on the left-hand side there, I believe it's under audit log. You've got your inventory movement log, and you would want to pick the detailed report. Oh, you can pick your different ones. Let's just pick in my last 30 days. And oh, sorry, yes, the serial numbers included in the columns here, so we can actually then see the specific, if you wanted to filter down to like a specific location or product or different like transaction types or anything like that. But then you can see across multiple products at the same time your different serial numbers, and you can export this or save it as like a CSV file if you needed to filter through it more or anything like that as well, to pull that up. As we had mentioned, that you can't change the serial, so there's no way for me to change Batmobile to like now like a non-serialized product, or if I wanted Batarangs to now be like a serialized product, you would have to deactivate it. So in that case, you always want to make sure that you change the name to something like deactivated. You would want to remove any SKUs that you have, because SKUs need to be unique, as well as if you have any barcodes, and make sure to remove your stock, because deactivating does not remove your stock. And then once you've done that, you can create the new product and assign it as a serialized product itself. Cool. So I think that's the main things from the demo itself. I'm not sure if there are any other specific questions that we wanted to go over in terms of. Oh yeah, sorry. Lando was saying he wanted a desktop demo. Let me just pull up and see if I can show it on there too. Okay, so here's our wonderful desktop application. Unfortunately, this I can't really zoom in too much on, but in all situations, it works pretty much the exact same. So I can pick my Batmobile as my product again. Here, your product types, you're still going to set it as a serialized product. It shows you're not a toggle on here. It does show as like a separate type. And then instead of the little squares on the corner, it's these little dots that you're going to get. So again, you'll see when you click on them, you get your different serial numbers that show up for it. You can, again, generate serial numbers if you need to, and it gives you the option for your prefix, your middle numbers, and then your suffix again. So exactly the same kind of setup and everything in that sense. The movement history in here does also give you the same option. So again, you can put in like a serial number and filter down to just that specific one. So just like I was doing in the web app itself. In terms of things like the purchase orders and sales orders and everything, it would work the same way too. So if I go into the receive spot, you're able to set your serial numbers on here. The copy paste would not work on something like this. That is something that was just added recently to the web app. So you would have to individually set those up or put those in there. Again, scanning those should work on the desktop application as well. And then, I mean, the reporting and everything is also very similar. So the inventory movement details report will still be able to show the serial number in the columns that you're displaying and everything like that. So you can still find, you'll still be able to see, oops. So always likes to jump around. There we go. We'll be able to see the serial numbers of like the products and everything. This is right now filtered to only purchase orders. So this is just all the ones that are being received in there. So that should hopefully help with that.
Phil, we had Brody asking, how would it look on the mobile app for picking or receiving orders?
Sure, I can definitely try and show that as well. Let me just see if this is still connected. There we go. So this is the mobile app. Oh, there we go. It's just picking up my new products that I just created there. Sorry, they were asking like picking and receiving orders using the mobile app. Sure.
Yeah.
Let me make a sales order because I don't think I have one that's not picked right now. It's a wonderful Bruce Wayne, of course. And so we can add in. So there we go. We're gonna add in the Batmobile. Again, you're gonna see on here that serialized icon, so that gets used across all of inFlow. Now you've got two options on here, so you can just set the quantity like normal. Excuse me, sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat now. Or you can set the serial numbers right away. So if I click set serials, it's going to come up right away and it's going to show me. So these are all the serial numbers that are in the location of the sales order itself. So I have, if I go back to, I think I still have it open here. You'll see I actually have 10, but on the mobile app, I'm only seeing, I think 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because 7 of them, those ones are what are in the warehouse location, which is where my sales order currently is set to, and not the 3 that are in the Toronto location. So again, you'd be able to set on here exactly which ones you wanted to do. I'll pick one. And we'll set that on there. Oh, actually, I don't have a price. Make this very expensive. And we can save our order. So we've got our order in there. Now you can do it one of two ways. In the sales orders themselves, there we go. You can pick the order, and it should prompt you then when you are picking to pick your serial numbers. So again, you can just check them off and then hit done and do it. Otherwise, I believe through the, I'll just show the guided picking, where if I go into pick sales orders down here, it'll also come up, and you can do like the guided where you get like the big nice picture view and everything like that of it, and it's going to give you that little button here at the bottom saying pick serials, where again you'll be able to do that, and you can put those in there, and it's going to be able to set them. Okay, cool. And I think, I guess, just if I also pull up what the product looks like on mobile as well, then you can see. So again, you'll see that little icon on the right hand side again, showing that you do have serial numbers. We click on it. You do have to click into the location itself to see which serial numbers you have. Hitting this edit view or quantity or serial numbers, and I can see them right there, or I could click into the Toronto location and again be able to do that right there in the app itself.
Phil, would you mind showing Brody how to receive a PO with serial numbers on the mobile app?
Sure. Should be pretty similar.
Yeah, very similar, just different colored screen. Brown town instead of blue.
Yeah. So I'm just going to make a PO on here. We'll add in, we'll do the Iron Man armor since we haven't done that one. And again, you're going to get the same options. So again, down here, I'm getting the option, if you know the serials right away, you can set them, or you can just set the quantity. So in most cases, when you're making a PO, you probably don't know the serial numbers ahead of time. So you'd be able to create it this way and save it. And then once you do that, you can then go in and receive it. Oops. Sorry, so receive there at the bottom. I don't want to print labels right now. And so again, when you're clicking this, so it's going to get you to put in the serial numbers. Now, it being the mobile app, which is nice, you can click the little icon at the top right, and you'd be able to scan them to be able to get those serial numbers right away, or you can enter them in manually. So this could be like Iron 1. Or you can, again, click that little cog in the bottom right, and it'll, again, save that information. So if we want all of them to be iron, something like that, we can go fill serials, and that's now going to put in, again, using that prefix and suffix and everything that I've done. I can hit done and receive. And there we go. So now I'm going to have those serial numbers saved for that product inside inFlow. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for this webinar. I hope everybody learned a little something. And again, maybe you can use that copy and paste in the web app for serial numbers, because that's a fun, nice little new thing. And maybe you'll end up using serial numbers in your day-to-day workflow. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe as one last thing, Phil, would you mind opening up your inFlow pages and just hit the home page?
Sure.
We made some slight improvements on the bottom left corner. Should you have more questions, you can chat with our support team. You can just click that little bubble button. And at the top, you can also click the little question mark and you can go straight to our Learning Center.
Awesome. Yeah. And so in the Learning Center itself, this is the best spot to kind of look for any of the questions and stuff that you have. Like today's topic, we were looking for serials. If I can type it properly and I just type in serial, look, we can find how to create and track serial numbers, nice and easy, and click and open it. We do, where possible, try and show different steps for if you're using the Windows program, the web app, and we'll have different screenshots for each one, or even the mobile app if it's available. So this is definitely one of the best tools that you can access 24/7, something to really help you out.
Thanks, Phil.
Cool. All right. Well, and thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And yeah.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
All right. Take care, everybody.